You found that perfect cruise. Now it's time to get ready and pack up for your cruise because you don't have any extra costs to worry about, or so you thought. The challenge with cruising is the fact that everything costs extra. And there is one thing that I am doing now to save me some extra money that I wish I had been doing from the beginning. Hi y'all, I am Tiffany with TP's Travels. If you're new here, welcome. And in this video, I'm going to kind of break it down, share with you some extra costs that you could incur when you are cruising. Some of these you need to think about before you get on that cruise, and then some of these are going to be costs that you're going to incur while you're on the cruise. And some money saving tips of how you can still stay on that budget-friendly cruise vacation. So these extra costs won't ruin your trip. So let's dive in. The first thing you want to think about when you are booking your cruise is travel insurance. Travel insurance can really give you a peace of mind. If you're in another country, those medical expenses are not going to be covered by your regular insurance. And heaven forbid, if you were to be airlifted off the cruise ship, that bill is really expensive, and travel insurance can help you with this. So at the time of booking, sometimes you will see, do you want to add on travel insurance? So always look for those little things that are asking you to add on. That could also help save you some money in the long run as well. Now, something I didn't mention in the previous video of finding that affordable budget cruise, and that is travel expenses. Now, you want to be flexible, and this gives you the opportunity to find that budget cruise by going to any port. However, you need to also think about, how are you getting there? Are you driving? Are you flying? When I asked, many of you said you do drive and fly in, but you also need to think about, when you are looking at these, are you willing to drive or fly into Florida? If you are going to the Caribbean, most Caribbean areas are coming out of Florida, Miami and Port Canaveral. Actually, did you know that Florida handles 60% of all cruises in the world? So majority of the times, if you are booking a Caribbean cruise, you're going to go out of Miami or Port Canaveral. Now, if you're on the West Coast and you're looking for a cruise, a lot of times you're going to be able to find those Mexican cruises like Ensenada, or you can find Alaska. So think about what side of the country that you are on, and are you willing to fly or drive to that destination, and how much is that going to cost you? Also think about Uber costs and hotel prices as well. And with that, if you are flying in, it is highly recommended to fly in the day before. I have seen too many people who have lost their cruises because of flight cancellations and delays. Don't let that happen to you. Now, something else you want to keep in mind, and that is gratuities. You can prepay your gratuities at the time you're booking, or you can wait until the end of the cruise. Some cruise lines will charge you towards the end of your cruise, and some cruise lines will charge you the day of debarkation, or even just right after that. Now, here is something that's a little controversial, is that you can go to guest services and have gratuities removed. The reason I have heard some people removing their gratuities is because they want to have control over who they are tipping. Typically, when gratuities are paid, they're just kind of dispersed out amongst your steward, your main dining room staff, and then others around the cruise ship. So sometimes people choose to remove those gratuities so they can choose who they tip of who they come in contact with. So like I said, that is controversial. I hope you're not removing gratuities, just so you can save a little money. The staff works super hard. But first, if you're finding any of these helpful, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe. I've got so many more cruising tips here for you, so let's keep going. Now, something else you need to keep in mind, and that is priority check-in. Are you going to want priority check-in? Well, maybe if you found a really good deal on a cruise, maybe you want to look at something like that. Carnival has Faster to the Fun, Royal Caribbean has The Key, and there are different other priority check-ins on other cruise lines as well. But some of these come with not only getting on earlier, but they'll come sometimes with Wi-Fi packages, other special amenities, special luncheons, different things like that. So look and see if that is something that you're willing to do, or you don't care about those extra amenities that the priority check-in is going to offer you, and you don't care if you get on a little later, then that's not worth it. Now, something else I asked you that was an importance to you when booking your cruise, and you said itinerary. So are you going to want an excursion on this itinerary? You need to think about excursions. If you are wanting to do an excursion, a lot of times you can save money if you book them early and book them through your cruise line. I just recently saw on one of my upcoming cruises on my Royal app that they were offering so many different discounts by booking my shore excursions early. So sometimes you can find some great deals if you book them early rather than waiting till the last minute and booking them when you get on the cruise ship. Now, whether or not you are choosing to do an excursion, you need to think about money at the cruise port. Are you going to want to have lunch at the cruise port? Are you going to want to buy some souvenirs at the cruise port? It is recommended to only bring small bills when you're at the cruise port. So that is something that you can keep in mind. There are a lot of free things that you can do when you are out and about at a cruise port. Sometimes they have some free beaches that you can just go sit and lounge at and then head back to the cruise ship. Drink package is another thing that you need to think about. And sometimes you can book this with your booking, and it will have, like on some of your cruise lines, they will offer different packages like Wi-Fi, drink package, things like that, and they'll give you some discounts. Instead of paying that extra money up front, if you're not quite sure if you want it and you just want to wait till you get to the cruise ship, a lot of cruise lines will offer special deals and rates the day of your embarkation day when you get on the cruise ship. So look for those if you think you might want a drink package. Plus, keep in mind of how many drinks that you would have to drink in order to make it worth it. And then also remember, you're still being charged for the drink package, even if you're out at the port having drinks out there. And also, do you want to purchase the Wi-Fi? You need to keep in mind, are you going to want the Wi-Fi? Are you going to use it? Because some of them are anywhere around $30 to $40 a day for Wi-Fi. And also, look at reviews of your cruise ships. Some cruise ships don't have very good Wi-Fi. Some, I will not purchase the Wi-Fi again on that cruise ship. It's awful. Now, when you're on the cruise, specialty dining is another cost that you could incur. There are a lot of different types of specialty restaurants, and if you're wanting to go and have that steak at the steakhouse there on the cruise ship, you could end up paying around $50, $65 per person. So that is something you need to think about. Are you going to want to splurge? Maybe have one nice night where you go to a specialty dining restaurant. Take a look online at what restaurants are available on your cruise ship and just kind of decide, are you okay with the complimentary food the whole time, or do you want to have one or two nights of a specialty dining restaurant? Now, sometimes there are different activities on a cruise ship that could cost you a little bit extra money, so you need to take a look at those. Always suggest looking at not only the food, the entertainment, but the activities, and seeing what activities you are wanting to do before you get on the cruise ship, because some of those activities could cost you a little bit extra money. One thing that my husband always enjoyed doing was going and playing bingo, so you need to keep that in mind, that you'll have to go and purchase those bingo cards, and there's little things like that that will cost you a little extra money if you want to do those activities on the cruise ship. Now, this next thing is something that I wish I had thought about in the very beginning, and I'm keeping that in mind now, and it saves me so much more money. It was the fact that my room key is my credit card. You can do a lot of purchases around the cruise ship and they will add up. I promise you, if you're not thinking about it, they will add up, because all you have to do is use your room key. So where can you use your room key around the cruise ship? Well, there are all kinds of things that you can purchase, such as you can purchase art. They have a lot of stores that you can go shopping in. Arcade. We spent so much money when we brought our child on, and he was always in the arcade. So think about things like that. You can just swipe your card and you can spend it in the arcade. One place that will take cash, the only place on the cruise ship that will take cash, and that is the casino. Now, you can gamble in the casino with your card, but you can also bring cash. So keep that in mind. Are you wanting to do any gambling? And one thing that saved me money, that's keeping to a budget. So if you brought on $200, $300 and that's what you want to gamble, put that in the machine in cash. Once it's gone, you're done gambling, go do something else. So kind of keep things like that in mind, that is your credit card that you are walking around the cruise ship with. And you can purchase all different kinds of things like snacks, souvenirs, even some first aid supplies as well. And now, I don't recommend buying some of those first aid supplies, because really that should be a packing essential and something you have with you in your suitcase. If you want to know a little bit more about some packing essentials and getting ready for your cruise, then check out this video here on some great packing essentials for any cruise that you go on. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.